Smile. Take a picture.
Well, maybe it's just late.
What time does the bus come?
It's supposed to have left at 26 after from the mall. But it should have been here by now because it usually only takes 7 or 8.
I'm making a music video.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. But I won't do your apartment.
Okay.
Because I know how you are.
Then
I'll show.
You can do.
And I'll put it on YouTube.
You can do parts of the inside, like you can shoot the stereo, and
Okay.
But I'll go do it Tuesday.
So
This looks like this storm's supposed to last.
This is my friend John's place.
Yeah, well, I'll go like this because I don't like my engine.
So tell me, how much did you win the other day, John?
Oh, well, 400 minutes. No.
So what happened? How did you win your? You got lucky the other day, John.
Yeah,
so
I was playing my Uncle Nick's numbers
at Calneva.
at Calneva. It's an 8 spot. I added 1 number, and playing Caveman Plus. Started out with about $25. It got up to $42. Then I went down to $6.30 because I changed the bets. And magically, all of a sudden, I had not even had any kind of a reload playing Caveman Plus. It gives me 8 numbers out of the 9. Mm-hmm. And no, out of the 10. I was playing 1 extra number. Anyway, it throws me the bonus times 4, and it gives me the center stone rock turns red, so I get a 9th number, and I now have 9 out of 10 with a 20-cent bet. And the next thing I know,
because you went to the restroom, right? And then
I went to the restroom and walked around in between machines.
And you were down to what? $8 or something?
No, $6.30 when
so he was losing. He was on the losing streak.
I was on a bit of a losing streak, and then all of a sudden the numbers show. I got 9 out of 10, and $418.
And then he won another $100.
$160 playing downstairs on a quarter machine, playing 2 quarters, then backing to 1, back up to 2, and I got 7 out of 9. And that paid me $164.
So, people that don't know, this is John Woods. He's a good friend of mine.
This is what I do with my money.
Yeah, show him the coins.
I go out and buy.
Look what he got. After he won, he bought 2 coins.
I bought 4 coins.
4 coins, and they're
Kennedy $50 and an Eisenhower dollar. All. Except for the Eisenhower, they're all MS 64 or 66.
For $20 at the.
At $20 each at the Palace Pawn Shop.
He likes coins, and he likes calligraphy pens. He's really into that.
Yeah.
And
here, I'll even let you look at my stereo music collection.
This is he collects vinyl, and all his stuff is very well taken care of. If you look at his CDs.
Yeah, here's my fountain pens, and there's
he orders these fountain pens. He's a big, how much do these go for?
Well, that one went for $125.
He's got all kinds of fancy ones like this.
That one was $90.
$90, yep.
The stainless steel one, this one here, also a Waterman, was a measly $34. And it's very impressive.
And he has his record collection.
Well, I got all of Clapton's works, and that's only part of it. The rest are in my vinyl tub.
They're all in well condition. They got
Yeah.
sleeves. You know,
Yep.
he's got the Beatles.
Yeah, that's that. That's
He's got
white
Clapton.
album with the.
He's
Yeah.
he's got Raiders of the he loves Raiders of the Lost Ark. And so yeah, this is his house. How much you on? He's on low
My
income.
rate is $335.
And this is his. He likes Wonder Woman. I wouldn't say he loves Wonder Woman. The new Wonder Woman. What's her name?
Gal
Gadot.
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot. She was
Gal
on the
Gadot,
Fast
yeah.
and Furious. And he used to have his model kits.
Oh,
He had
most
his
of
model
them-
cars.
Yeah, most of them are hidden, put away in boxes.
This is his thing that he uses to go to Walmart to shop. And this is his. I gave him this money tree thing, this bamboo thing, and he says it's been giving him luck. But yeah. He likes John Wayne. And yeah, he pays $320. This is his restaurant. So he's kind of a clean freak. He's very into paper towels. He always has a stock of paper towels. And as you can tell, toilet paper. Everything is very clean and neat. He's very, but probably one of the cleanest persons I've ever met. Honestly, if you see a thing of lint or anything, he'll pick it up. He'll see it.
Okay, if you want to show them, they're not all there, but
It's
I have a couple of model kits, my Sherlock Holmes puzzle,
yeah.
my scrapbooks on model cars and classic
He
cars
loves
and
money.
motorcycles.
He collects.
Old Monopoly game
He
from
loves these
1956.
model kits, the scale kits, where you put them together and you put
Yeah.
the glue and you paint them and all that. He's really into them, but they're really pricey. If you go to Walmart, and sometimes they don't even have them at Walmart. You know, they go for $26, $24.
They go up
to
to
$30,
$50.
$50.
Yeah, they're damaged.
But here's his view.
Yeah.
And he's been given this tree's been giving him luck. He waters it, and he gives it sunshine. And yeah, he's got the ritual. He doesn't mess with the Buddha thing, but he does mess with the bamboo money tree though.
Yeah.
Anything you want to tell us about yourself, your life, or
Oh,
how it
I
was?
went to college and I majored in history and archaeology.
Yep.
And then
and
that turned into a rotten mess because the job I was expecting on a part-time basis was given to someone else. So I went back to working on cars. Did a little work for the school district in Sacramento. As a
he loves
mail-
Perry Mason. We've been watching Perry
Oh,
Mason
yeah.
like every day. Off
It's like the
Paramount
old
Plus.
westerns. The same screenwriters wrote for both Perry Mason and Paladin or Have Gun Will Travel. They also wrote for the Gunsmoke.
He always has a whole bunch of these ready. Like he uses these not just for, but he uses it to wipe this down. This sink is usually always wiped down, always, with paper towels. And it'll be all shiny. He loves avocados. He's always, if you don't see him with the avocado, there's something wrong. Because
Yeah, it means that you can't find any good ones at the
yeah,
store.
see
That's
how
what it
many
means.
paper towels he's got?
Yeah.
He's got 2 packs of paper towels.
Yeah.
This is where he's, his thing. I'm not going to tell you guys where he lives. That's private information. Just showing you. His refrigerator, he's got energy drinks. And he loves yogurt. And he loves Jägermeister. See that Jaeger? If you mix it with, whatchamacallit, Red Bull, it's really good. But, John, like, he'll make me a care package a lot of times, and he'll use his food stamps, and he'll buy me food if I'm struggling, or He'll even buy me a bus pass. So if he has it, sometimes he doesn't have money because, sometimes he struggles too. And if you guys don't know, they cut the food stamps this month. It was on CNN. So a lot of people, a lot of families are
Here's
gonna go
another
hungry. Oh yeah. This is here's
70 El Camino.
Chevy El Camino. Oh, I love El Camino. So I wish I had an El Camino.
So do I.
They were cheap back in the days.
In today's world, the real one-to-one car would cost you
Yeah.
50 or 60,000.
I remember when I was in Vegas in the 90s, they had El Caminos only for $1,500.
Oh, and my
Yes.
Wonder Woman book. I got the real thing.
See, he loves Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And he likes Katy Perry.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's basically, he grew up in San Francisco.
Now, I grew up in Redding, in California, Sacramento.
Ready? Oh, and this is his bus. There's no, I got him this Batman thing.
Yeah, I do have those cars in this.
He's got a 1967 Shelby GT 500 collect. Everybody's got their little thing. I collect. He's got Funkos. See, I got him into that. Well,
I have some others, but
he's got
I
Popsies,
have
but he
Tiger
has
Woods.
Funko Pop.
I got Johnny Cash, Tiger Woods, and what's the other one?
Funko Pops. Tiger Woods.
Johnny Cash. Oh, and Mickey Mouse, but they're put away in a box.
Do you have Batman or no?
Yeah, I have that. No, not a Batman Funko Pop, but I have the Batman.
So I got him into. I got him into these little.
Yeah.
That was my. I got him into the little Funko Pop things, and we do it just because we have our. He likes Johnny Cash. He likes Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And it's fun. So, he got me this for my birthday, the blue one. It's for protection. He got this at TJ Maxx. See the color?
Yeah.
This one I already
He
had.
got my Johnny Cash album.
So yeah, he got this for my birthday.
Here we go.
But yeah,
Sunday's reissue Johnny Cash at Folsom Prison. You gotta listen to
look
this.
at his. Oh, see, I didn't even show him this collection. Check
This
out
is-
his Johnny Coltrane. What are some of your?
Yeah.
Show me your collect. Look at how good he takes care of his vinyl.
Yep.
Compared to mine, mine's was just like
And I also have the reissue, the new
John Coltrane.
last year, the Giant
Jazz.
Steps.
He liked a lot of jazz too, which I like jazz too.
Yep.
You got any favorite ones in there that you like that you really like to listen to?
Oh, favorite ones.
He likes it. He's a big Eric
Sonny
Clapton.
Rollins is probably one of my favorite ones.
That you
Saxophone Colossus, this, even though it's a reissue, is worth $280 to $400, even if it's been opened and played once or twice.
Oh, tell us about the. So he was teaching me about what is it? The thread.
Well,
What is it called? For each record, it's got a different.
It's,
What is that, thread count or something? Or?
No, it's what is it called? Myself, I'm trying to think. It's a grams.
Grams,
the
yeah,
grams
so-
of the vinyl.
So
This is a 180 gram reissue.
the heavier the grams, the more valuable it can be.
Also, this one happens to have.
Does it say how many grams it is?
Yeah,
It's not drugs,
and on the
guys.
back it says 180. But on this one has been scratched out. This was actually reissued by DCC, which went out of business in 2006. It has LPZ 0228, and I can read part of it with a micro glass and microscope, and you can make out part of the number even though they scratched it out. And because it was reissued by DDC, who did not have permission for reissue, this one alone is worth $400, even as used and played 4 times. I'm not selling it, because if I was to sell it, I would want $1,000. I have 3 others, also done by DCC, all of them Sonny Rollins albums. I have
So with John, it's pretty cool because I could talk to him about news.
But see, I saw these people when I was a kid growing up. My step parents were always taking me to jazz clubs in San Francisco. We went to the Hungry Eye at least once a month on Friday and Saturdays, usually the third Friday and Saturday of each month. And this one is probably my favorite album. Yeah, this is worth at least $600 to $800. Tenor Madness. And I wouldn't sell it for anything.
How many grams is that?
This is a 200 gram reissue LP. And this does have, you can clearly see in the collar of the record label, in the collar edge, you can see where it says LPZ. And I'm not going to read the rest of the number because that is between me and the people that made this. And the reason I know this is because I used to work at a wholesale company in Sacramento, West Sacramento, called Jim's Hot Wax. And Jim and I had a little agreement with the reissuing of RTI.
How old are you?
I'm 72.
And your birthday is?
My real birthday is August 16th, 1950. I was adopted November 4, 1951.
August
16th.
16th?
1950.
But so you're actually a Leo? You're not a...
That's right.
Wait,
I'm
no, wait.
actually a Leo and not a
No,
Scorpio.
or you're a Virgo.
No, I'm not. I'm really a Leo and not a Scorpio.
Wait, August. So...
Yeah.
So you're a Leo, but he celebrates...
I celebrate my birthday 4 times a year.
But
in
you
August,
celebrate
in November, in April, because of my step-parents and my adopted
But your actual
grandmother.
birthday is...
August 16th, yeah.
But you celebrate it
And
as
then
a
I
Scorpio.
also celebrated 4th of July, almost a whole month of July, because I believe in a lot of the patriotism and the early founding of
Same
this
here.
country.
I do. I mean,
I use a whole month of July
I will.
as a celebration.
I'm that kind of person that when the American anthem goes off, I'll start crying like a little baby.
Yeah.
But there's reasons because I cry, because there's a lot of people that died, a lot of people that fought for our freedom, and not just
And
just.
I heard those stories growing up too,
like,
Jay, and it's just.
I mean, I do
it means a lot
understand
to me.
when they say that that people are kneeling and there's people that died. Yeah, but there's people that were in the military that also have said on camera that they fought so that we could have those freedoms just to do what.
Now, off the record, Jay, if I could contact.
Who's that?
This is the group known as the Silver Wars, husband and wife. Well, they were originally boyfriend, girlfriend at the time. If I could contact them and their agent and Natalie Merchant and Nora Jones and Katy Perry, I'd love to introduce them to about 40 classic jazz standards written between 1934 and 1978, and I'd love them all to combine their talents and reissue and do a double album. And I'd like to get their attention so we could make it an album to sell to charity or for the sake of charity to help the less fortunate folks, whether they're disabled veterans, whether they're homeless, because I remember when I was young and we didn't have this kind of homelessness situation we have today. And I've heard a lot of politicians talk for 20, 30 years. And yet, here in Reno, Nevada, the homeless situation is somewhere between 19,000 and 25,000. The city doesn't know because they don't really want to count.
What do you think are the reasons, John, behind the homeless situation?
Well, there are a number of reasons, but if I could raise some funds to buy some vacant buildings and restructure them so they're housing. There's a lot of vacant buildings here in Reno, and there are in other cities. And since the city officials either refuse to or don't want to get involved, somebody has got to do something, because this is just way out of hand. I mean, rents when I moved here in '97 were an average of $450, $500 a month for a studio or a one-bedroom apartment. In today's economy, in March 2023, you're talking $700 a week minimum. Sometimes you can get it for $550 a week. and some places want as much as $900 a week.
So
how do you afford that when you're only making $16 an hour, or even $20 an hour?
The motels here are $375 at the Hi-Ho.
But they're just crazily out of reach, and we need rent control so badly.
The Windsor is $350 a week plus $100 deposit.
Yeah.
Average studio in Reno is about $1,400 to $1,600.
Yeah.
That's a studio, not a bedroom.
Yeah.
One bedroom, with $1,000 deposit. And I'll show you the room that John lets me when he used to, but because of the I would just like sleep right here on the floor, just like that with my backpack, because it's better than. But because of the neighbors talking, we can't stay here, because of course I would give them money here and there because of helping me out, but because he's in low income, you can't just let anybody stay here because you'll get in trouble. But yeah, he has asthma too. But yeah, John always makes me like these care packages. So, he says that's the way he was. So sometimes we when I was at Walmart, we found a deal on these taquito things, and they were only like $2 in the thing. So sometimes you can find deals, and they had Marie Calendar pies for only $1. Those big, remember, John?
Yeah.
We went crazy. We went and bought.
Sadly, we ate them all up, and I went back, and there were no more.
His big thing that he likes is those ice cream things. He's a milkshake. Wait, no.
Yeah,
milkshake
I like
guy?
milkshake too, but
He's a big milkshake.
My big favorite is gelato, but when the gelato's too pricey, I get Baskin and Robbins, and I did buy some gelato at Atlantis Casino 2 days ago, so I still have some of that left. Yeah.
So
By the way, Jay, when you go,
get some of these.
yeah, you have to take that box there and.
Okay. So that's basically it.
Yeah.
This is his place. Don't ask me where he lives because I'm not going to tell you. This is just the inside of his apartment.
Yeah. I'm on a hill overlooking downtown Reno, and it sucks.
Yeah. But his place is actually pretty decent compared to Chucky. See, this is what I'm talking about. He'll give me these little care packages.
This is the published version that came out just 3 days ago.
So yeah. If
And
he
here's
gets
that information on that their consumer sellers phone thing. I got to use the rest of them.
okay. So yeah, basically that's it. Because you know how they stopped the the food stamps, the EBT thing where you get one in the beginning of the month and then one because of the whole COVID crisis. Well, this month, on March 2023, they stopped it. I'm only bringing this up because a lot of people with kids are going to be super hungry. And with the inflation prices and how expensive food is at the stores, a lot of families will go hungry. Yeah, when he used to get his stamps, he used to help me out here and there. It wasn't like he could buy a lot of stuff, but it helped, put, food in my stomach if I was struggling, because, gotta buy bus passes, this and that, cell phone, my storage thing. But yeah, this is John's place. Sometimes we'll put like chimichangas in here and it tastes better in the oven. But yeah. So yep. And he kind of made this thing. So as you could tell, he doesn't have a TV. He had one, but
It died. TV is not my priority.
Yeah.
Music is my priority.
So the way he gets his news, he goes on this, NPR, and
locally. Camp Radio in Sacramento, I still listen
and so if I talk about the news,
I know the story before you can
Yeah.
even tell me.
He'll know what's going on even before I can even talk to him because they talk about it on NPR, which is
Yeah, that's in Reno, and Cap Radio 90.5 in Sacramento.
so he's goes to these two and he'll listen and they'll play alternative rock sometimes.
Yeah.
And but they talk about the news and
Yep.
all kinds of things. But he wanted me to show you guys this so that
Now you want me to take it out because that cell
yeah.
thing.
So what is this, John?
These are my college diplomas, copies of them. I have the original someplace, but I can't find
He
it.
went to
Yeah, Shasta College, junior college at first. I graduated in '71
John Allen Wood.
with associates in anthropology, and
Let me
then
get
Sac
it.
State.
Let me get a zoom in there.
Oh, okay.
Don't let me. I can't move because shoot, it's kind of blurry. I got to tilt
Want
it.
me to turn the light?
No, there you go. School of Arts, California, Sacramento. John Allen Wood.
Yeah.
Bachelor of Arts in Anthropology. He does. That's probably why it explains why he's into maps and he's into Raiders of the Lost Ark, and this explains it all.
I knew the
Shasta
guy that the
College.
Raiders story is based on.
And he also went to Shasta College. Is that
Shasta Junior College. Yeah.
Shasta Junior College in Anthropology?
Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty impressive, man.
Yeah.
He's got a Bachelor of Arts in Anthropology, which is pretty. I don't
The
even
guy
know.
that the
I don't have
Raiders story is based on, his real name was Edward S. Gibbons. And sadly, in 1936 and 37, Mr. Gibbons and his early first wife, Mary Ann, was her first given name. Blackheart was her real last name, her maiden name. They went to China and India and part of a research effort from UC Berkeley looking for antiquities and art treasures. Unfortunately, they did not know that Japan was going to invade starting in October 1936 into China and get to Nanping, China by March of 1937. Mr. Edwards panicked. He left his wife in China.
So John is very old school. He uses a flip phone.
I don't even have that
He doesn't
anymore.
like but he hates the new technology. Why do you hate the new technology?
Because it doesn't work. You cannot rely on it, and sadly
He
for
does
the
check
younger,
his emails.
the younger generation has been growing up on this for 30 years. All it takes is one bad acting country, and it's not the people, it's the country's political leadership that wants to block out or capture all digital data. All you have to do is set a minefield of electronic data clocks
Do you
that
think-
malfunction or turn off all digital for 7 or 10 days. It would corrupt all banking in the world.
Do you think
Not just
China-
China is a bad
Do you
actor.
think China's
North
spying
Korea
on
is
us?
a bad actor.
Do you think-
Russia is a bad actor? Israel is a bad actor.
Do you think China
Egypt
is
is a
spying
bad
on
actor.
us?
They're all spying on us. Every country I
What do you
mentioned.
think about those balloons that were flying in the air?
Those were not weather balloons. They were set up and they knocked out power for 3 to 4 days across northern North America of the United States and southern part of Canada, from Calgary to the Canadian-U.S. border all the way to Montreal. If you check with the government officials, I used to work for the federal government on several occasions, national mapping, the CIA in the 70s.
John doesn't Google Maps. He
I don't
has
have to Google
Where's
Maps.
your maps at?
My
John
maps are in my head.
John has a bunch of maps. If I ask him where, I got to go to this interview tomorrow,
Yeah.
he'll pull out his maps.
Yeah, well, I have some state maps here, but in the other room, I also have some state and city
These
maps here.
He'll look on these maps for me.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
This you got to take. Blah, blah,
I
blah.
grew up drawing maps as a part of my living for history and anthropology classes, including the classes I was a lecturer and taught at.
So out of all the Raiders of the Lost Ark movies, which one's your favorite? And
The
which
first
one?
one,
Which one's
because
that?
that would be Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Which one was the worst? Which
Well,
one's
the worst? The worst was number 2 in my opinion.
Which one's 2?
And that was the Temple of Doom. There were a few joy spots, a young boy riding in the restored Auburn down those streets in Calcutta, India, supposedly. And also the 4th one, the Crystal Skull.
Show 'em.
That Crystal Skull should never have been made. Sadly, I can't. I'm apprehensive to see number 5 this July because I'm afraid Harrison Ford at age 84.
Tell them about Grassroots, John. Like,
Grassroots books.
What is Tell them about what it is. What's Grassroots, and do you like it?
It's a used bookstore, books, CDs.
I took
DVDs.
them there a lot. Didn't I? I was the first person to take you there, right?
Yes.
So they used to. What kind of sales did they used to do back in the days before COVID? And how did they do it?
Pre-COVID, they had a
Sunday
once. Was it once a week Sunday or once a month Sunday?
Every Sunday they would. Yeah, it was called the bag sale.
It was a bag day sale for $5 and any bag. Where's the bag? Here's
so
the
you
bag.
could bring any bag
you could buy
want.
a plastic bag, a paper bag, $5. You could fill it until you couldn't pick it up, but it was still only $5.
You can't go over this.
You couldn't go over the
You could
top
mix
of the
it
rim.
with books,
CDs, DVDs, or LPs,
and people would go. So as soon as they open, what time did that door open?
I believe it was 8 a.m.
8 a.m.
They used to have
there'd be
earlier
like
hours.
a line of, a fairly large line of people that would wake up.
I'd say easily 200 people at a time.
And they would even like be up front because they wanted to be the first. And as
ones
soon as
in
they
the door.
open that door, everybody's either running to the DVD section to grab all the movies, and they have like some pretty good. They have movies that you would never think you could find.
Yeah.
Like,
but
what did you
wouldn't expect to find
What did it?
anymore.
Like he found. What did we find that was kind of rare?
Well, we sadly and
He found this Indiana.
I found not only the Indiana Jones complete set of all 4 movies.
Show him that comic book collection. I
yeah,
got him
yeah.
into comic books too.
Yeah.
So
where are they? Here they are.
So
I remember the TV series when this came out in the early 90s when I lived in Denver.
So how much did we get these for? I think it was like 50 cents or $1 or something like that, right?
Yeah, it was. I got
I think it was
9 of them for, in essence, basically $1 each. The first 3 issues I had to buy extra, but I do have all 12 issues of the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, which was the TV series issued between 1988 and 1992. It ran in reruns for about 3 years. It was originally, I believe, 16 episodes because they took these comic books, the individuals that were the authors, and they, with a screenwriter. Yeah.
He's got the Chronicles 1, 2.
And number 2.
He's even got some action comics. You'll see some Superman that I.
Number 3, all the way through the last.
So he's missing
number
some
12.
numbers.
No, I have them all. I have all 1 through 12.
1 through 12. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, he was missing 1, right?
I was missing the first 2.
First 2, and he ordered.
And I had to pay dearly for those 2. They cost me $18 each.
Yep. So yeah. So Grassroots is pretty cool. They
is.
used to have a wide selection.
If you ever visit Reno, Nevada for Hot August nights or the balloon races or the airfield races or just to visit an old friend or family or just to visit to go gambling once or twice in Reno, Nevada.
So Hot August nights, if you
I would
guys don't know
recommend
what it
coming to
is.
Reno and going to Grassroots. It is at, can you, 680
Grove Street.
East Grove Street
But
in
do
Reno, Nevada.
I will suggest do not go the opposite side of Grove Street because it's a really dangerous neighborhood. It's run by a gang called Sunset, and there's people. If you go to the back of the movie theaters, there's a bus stop, and people have been shot at that bus stop. That's right behind the movie theaters. There's 2 different, I guess, gangs that live there in those neighborhoods, and there's a imaginary line where they won't. The territories are they won't. It's like they won't go past it. Yeah, you wouldn't believe, if you go there to the daytime, you wouldn't believe that there's been plenty of people been shot at 7-Eleven, robbed at 7-Eleven. It's it still continues. It's the police go up and down that street anyways.
Yeah.
So don't
While
go.
you have that on, let's see if this will. No. Do you need the light on to show this?
No.
Anyway, when I'm up to fixing this to work correctly, this is a 1974 Vintage Techniques SL 1500 turntable. It has a rebuilt tone arm by a good friend of mine who used to live in Weaverville and then Placerville, California.
So
It needs a minor rebuilding of the.
what do you call this? This is the arm bar, and then
That's the tone arm.
And then what do you
yeah.
call the needle, John? The needle, you got
I have 4 hot rodded Grado cartridges.
So you got
one
the cartridge
with an 8MZ tip cartridge needle, one with a TLZ, one with a gold.
They're really expensive too.
A gold number 2, and then I also have a Grado Sonata Master with less than 250 hours. I've prided myself. One of my last roommates when I lived in Denver was the late Captain Warner, but he was known for stereophile fans and TAS fans, the absolute sound TAS. He wrote under the name Corey Greenberg, and Colonel Warner died in 2016. He was a Vietnam veteran, Vietnam War hero, and also happened to fly the SR-71. And I know this because I used to meet him when he landed his aircraft. And in the old days when they used actual film stock on spy planes, I would meet him at the airfield and grab the canisters of film and run them back to the lab for processing. And we would meet later and go through a debriefing and talk to Department of Defense contractors in Western Virginia or the Department of Defense officials about what was seen on the film when he flew over his missions in Russia, China, North Korea, and other territories of the Western and Southern Hemisphere. I miss Colonel Warner. He was a real good friend and a real good roommate.
And so if you guys don't know the Techniques, even DJs and hip hop.
Yeah, it was
Techniques is one of
in
the
60s and 70s.
I mean, this is an older model Techniques, but even DJs and rappers that have DJs, they use Techniques is one of the best turntables you can get because you can mix and all this crazy stuff. Show him your little. So he has this little medicine thing. It always trips me out. The little medicine thing with you put.
Oh,
so
my
he's got the
quarters. It's just a habit. When I used to ride by motorcycles,
So he'll go
I
to
always
the
had
store.
to keep change in something that would not rattle out of my pocket when you're sitting on a motorcycle all
He'll
day
be at
for
Walmart
hours.
and he'll pull out his change.
Yeah.
And you'll think it's like I think he's pulling out some pills, but it's
Yeah, I had a girlfriend ages ago who thought I was.
So what we do
Doing
here,
drugs.
since he doesn't have a TV, and when I had Paramount or Tubi TV, sometimes we'll watch. He likes Sherlock Holmes. He's a big Sherlock Holmes fan. And I'll put my phone right here.
Or
between
Perry Mason.
Perry Mason, and I'll lay it against this, and then it will hold this part up, just like that. And see that little thing right there? It will make sure that it doesn't fall off. And we'll sit here, and I'll bring my Bluetooth speaker, which is a JBL, and we'll watch it, and it'll sound like we're in a movie theater. But, of course, the screen's real small, and we'll watch Perry Mason or some old country western movies, because he likes a lot of the old country western movies. And he's a big time. I mean, we probably watched every Sherlock Holmes.
I've seen each one at least 100 times. I'm not joking.
What's your favorite country western series? Gunsmoke or what? Or Bonanza?
Actually, Have Gun Will Travel. Second was probably Gunsmoke. Third was probably Bonanza. And sadly, because I had a babysitter by the name of Helen East, It is not Clint Eastwood because I knew his family when his real last name was Woods, the same as my adopted name.
Is your last name with the S or just
Wood, no S.
No S, okay.
Uh,
Just like Tiger.
yeah. But yeah, it's just the way it was.
Who's your favorite golf player?
Tiger Woods. I have a Funko Pop. Well, I used to bet with my friends because I used to hit putting drives myself at 45, 48 feet. I even sunk one at 52 feet. I don't play golf.
What is it about Tiger Woods that you like? Because he knows all about. I don't understand.
Well,
golf.
I saw the Johnny Carson show in the 60s and 70s. Actually, I remember when Steve Allen and Jack Parr created the Tonight Show. Originally, Steve Allen, he only stayed 2 years. Jack Parr, 5 or 6. But when Johnny Carson came on, it was a whole new way of just talking to average people. In fact, Carson used to have a whole bunch of people who are non-celebrity show up weekly on his show. Mm-hmm. But Tiger Woods, he came on with his dad, I think it was age 3.5. And his dad had shown Johnny how his little boy could hit a hitting putt almost 20 feet. I think it was 18.5, could have been 19.5 feet. Almost 20 feet into a putter plate, and he made it.
In national live.
And he's always told Johnny Carson that his son would become the world's greatest golfer. Now, I sort of forgot this until 1999. I'm living here in Reno when some of my neighbors bugged me, hey, have you been keeping up with the Masters? And I said, I haven't watched golf on TV and probably since Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus were in their heyday. And he says, you got to see this guy. So I went to my neighbor's apartment, and here we are. We're all sitting there drinking coffee, beer, or soda, watching Tiger Woods destroy the competition.
He doesn't really drink that much anymore, right? Didn't you stop drinking?
I stopped drinking.
And smoking. He used to smoke. Smoking is very bad for you guys. I'm just letting you know.
I used to smoke cigars from Cuba. And I would pay up to $20 a piece. But that was way pre-2010. I'm not paying $50 for a cigar. I don't care who hand-rolled them. Mm-hmm. I don't have that kind of money to play with.
So the other day, a couple of weeks ago, I had stayed the night where he let me, and there was a guy that passed away, and I was sitting right here, and I saw a shadow right there. And what was weird about it was like a face, and it went this way. Like the shadow went this way, and I told John, and I was scared to tell him because I didn't want him to think I was crazy. But anyways, I told him I saw something by your shelf. Well, apparently, haven't really seen it anymore, but he had these 2 hats that were from the guy that passed away. It was hanging right there. As soon as I told him about those 2 hats, what'd you do, John?
I picked the hats up, I walked down to the hallway, and I threw them out in the trash.
He threw them, and he was so freaked out. Because when I told him, I go, I don't know, John. You're going to think this is kind of weird, but I saw something by your shelf. And then as soon as I told him, he's like, no. I guess he was experiencing some things, but he kind of just brushed it off. But as soon as I told him that, he took these 2 hats and dumped them as soon. And I was reading an article about it, that you should never wear dead people's clothing.
No, you shouldn't.
When
I was an archaeologist and a survey archaeologist, I walked across the battlefield, part of the battlefield known as the Little Bighorn, and this was back in 1988. And 3 of my assistant archaeology techs that worked with me said, how are there so many people walking with us? And I said, those are the spirits of both the dead soldiers and the dead Indians.
He always
passed away
to save money.
And there were more than 300 individuals counted, but there were only 4 of us actually walking across a 10-acre portion of the battlefield.
Tell him about your Keno thing that you just did. So he won about, he told you about his winning. He won about 419
$418.
And he gave me $100, and he bought me a bus pass. And I think an hour later, he won $100
$160.
off the Keno thing. You know those boards that have the Keno number. Is that what it is?
Right, I'm playing the
Yeah.
big board game right
So
now.
he won $100 off that. So he won about
Yeah.
$500, right?
Yeah, a little over
paid
$500.
He paid his
I'm
bill.
also playing the
So now
Keno board. Now I'm going to put my thumb on
And
two
this is-
spots because I
he
do
paid
not want all these
$25
numbers.
for how many numbers?
I paid $25 on the nickel version. It is a 9-spot. And on this 8-spot, I am covering up some numbers on purpose. I played it at a 10-cent game.
And he will find out on
Tuesday
Today
afternoon around
today
1
is,
o'clock.
March, what's it?
March 4th.
March 4th, Saturday.
Yeah. On Tuesday afternoon,
He
March
took
7th.
me, as you could tell in the beginning of the video, he took me out to eat to Red Robin. They messed up my order out. I wanted a
And they didn't even give us a discount for the messed
Yeah.
up over, or the fact that they charged me $10 for a chocolate malt.
and yeah,
That was outrageous. I will not be back at Red Robin.
and
$10.
the bill was like
The
almost-
hamburger wasn't worth $19.
Wasn't it $50 or something like that?
Yeah,
for
it
the
was
whole
48 and change. We might as
Yeah,
well say
is it
$50. That was for two lunch meals and 2
Did you
drinks.
tip her?
Well, I
Yeah.
put $50 down. She got a $1.40 tip. I
Okay.
can't help the prices
Yeah.
are so high. I won't be back. It was good, but it wasn't $50 worth of goodness. I'm sorry. And they want to know why I don't go out to eat much. I can cook a
I'll
better
do that.
meal myself at home.
I actually haven't really went out most of the time because that's probably the first time I went out. So like,
you need to use the restroom because
Yeah.
we're going to have to be going in about 20 minutes.
I used to go out a lot with my ex. You know, we used to go to Olive Garden, buffets. That all stopped. Plus COVID, everything got expensive. I don't even go to fast foods that much. It's very rare. Got to use the restroom.